What's up, everybody? Another day in the garage. What we're working on today, we got a couple of bikes in here. This one's a 96. It's pretty cool. 1200. Got a bunch of stuff done to it. It gets up. What we're working on today, we got this girl right here, 1980 XLCH Ironhead Sportster. Love this thing, man. It's cool. It's old. We've done a lot of work. We rewired the whole bike. Kind of gone through the valve tappets, and everything looks real good. It's got 24,000 miles on it. This particular bike, it was in storage for 12 years. So it's got the usual carb problems. We went through the primary, bars, clamps, riser bushings, speedo, front brakes, all new. I mean, we've pretty much gone through everything. The tail we still got left. We put some drop shocks on it, short shocks, new rear rotor. Rear caliper was totally just sucks. Housing was all worn out from moving around on the screws and just sucks. So we got a new GMA one coming that we're gonna mount up, give a little better performance too. So, but what we got the pipes on it. They're not original, but they suck. Thing sounds like a boat. I don't like it. So I wrapped up the pipes. I'm gonna cut them mufflers off there and put some slip-ons on. But it's a pretty sweet bike. We like it. I like it a lot. It's fun to ride. But what we're getting is the carb popping on low RPM acceleration, which sucks. Pretty common issue. Ignore the seat, man. The seat sucks. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I haven't decided to go 2-up or a solo or what. Just ignore my seat. But anyway, what we got going on is we got the carb popping issue. Now, you want to start with the typical, what it usually can be, is your intake gaskets, your manifold intake gaskets, or your exhaust pipe manifold seals. If you have an air leak in any one of those, it can cause the carb pop. We tested mine out. They're all good. But we ordered a kit anyway at 16 bucks. We're going to do all new seals in there since we got them apart. Exhaust gaskets are super important. If you got a leak in there, when that unburnt fuel comes through and hits those hot pipes, mixes with the air, boom, you're going to get some popping out the exhaust. So you gotta get those two definitely troubleshot first. It kind of goes hand in hand with the project of making this issue go away. But it's got this factory key-in car, whatever you want to call it. It's not a bad carb, not a great carb either. But clean and adjusted properly, these things are a bear to tune. Clean and adjusted properly, it's a pretty good carb. It'll give you a lot of reliable operation. What's going on with this one? I think it's pretty clean. The passengers are pretty clear. They're not gummed up too bad. We just got typical age issues, man. It's been sitting, some guys, when they put their stuff in storage, they don't really, get it ready right or winterize it right, whatever you want to call it. So what we got when we took this thing apart, right away, the float bowl gasket, first thing, cracked. Most of the rubber components are pretty shot in it. Again, it's only got 24,000 miles on the bike, but it's just how it goes, with these older bikes. These carbs are finicky and they need to be gone through. If you're having any performance issues, start with the carb rebuild kits. 18 bucks. I highly recommend it. You can put an S&S on, you can put a Mikuni. If you want to spend that $300-$500, I think for 45 bucks, get this sucker rebuilt and properly tuned, and you're gonna have a real good running Sportster. So a little bit how it is. Carb's upside down right now. That's the top. So we took the float bowl off the cover. Float bowl sits inside here. The reason I'm doing this video, I couldn't find a whole lot on these carbs on the internet, so I thought I'd just do a quick video when I went through this process to maybe help somebody out. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Done a lot of research, done a lot of reading, read a ton of manuals, a lot of online forums and stuff, and have a pretty good understanding of these things. So you got your float bowl here. This right here is your accelerator pump jet. And you want to get that thing adjusted on the let's see if I can do this here. On the intake of the carb, that back butterfly, when that thing sits up there in that hole, see, it's upside down, there we go, in that hole right there, you want that stream of gas to shoot right to the center of that rear butterfly. What that is at your accelerator pump. When you give it a twist of the throttle, it gives it a good shot of gas, so you know have the throttle response you want in the low end to get you going, and then the main jets kick in. But a lot of times the carb popping is just that. It's a lean condition. You know, you could have symptoms of a plugged up carburetor or varnish not getting fuel. Your accelerator pump could be bad. So your accelerator pump's right here. It just bolts to the bottom of the float bowl. This is it. All it is this, a spring, and this little rubber diaphragm. Mine's screwed. This diaphragm's all cracked to hell. Not working right. So I don't think I was getting a very good shot of fuel for my accelerator pump, which is causing my dry condition or my lean condition. Instead of hitting the throttle and having a really good sound and some good power, getting that carb pop, it's not, just annoying as hell. So that's what we're trying to alleviate. So take that off, clean all that up. You want to clean all these passages real good. This one's not real varnished, so it's not too bad, but we'll clean it all up. Your carb kit will come with all this stuff except for this metal housing and spring. Come with that. It's gonna have all your new gaskets. I'll take these butterfly shafts out, get everything cleaned up, new gaskets for those. So underneath your float bowl, this is what you'll see on the bottom of the carb. Your accelerator pump, this is upside down, but your float bowl goes on here like that, and your accelerator pump sits on there. This is the rod that opens the diaphragm. Let's see if I can do this and hold the phone. When you push that, when you push on the throttle, it pushes that rod down, which opens that diaphragm, which creates the push of fuel into the carburetor from that accelerator pump. Mine, I noticed, is about darn near a quarter inch worth of slop. So I was hitting the throttle, and it would have to open about a quarter inch before that rod would even move that diaphragm. So that's not good. That is not what you want. So we're gonna adjust that. You can adjust that setting. I'm gonna get that nice and tight so we got that throttle response. So that was, I think, part of our problem. And then you move up into the bottom of the bowl. This is your main jet right here. You can unscrew that. I'm running a 160. You can go bigger if you need to. It's not recommended to change this jet until you have your slow speed jet updated or set to where you want it, and the carburetor tuned with the pilot jet, I guess you'll call it, or the idle screw on top, or pilot jet on top. So again, you don't want to change that main jet till you get this carb on the bike and tuned up real nice. Your slow speed jet goes in here. I think mine's a 60, 65, something like that. Yeah, 65. I'm going to go up a little bigger because I'm having that lean condition. I'm going all the way up to an 80. It's recommended going up 1 or 2 increments. But I'm going to go up bigger because I'm running pretty lean. So start with that. This is your float bowl. Pretty self-explanatory. You clean that up before you put it back in. Now this sucker here, this is your pilot jet or whatever. I don't know exactly what they call it. This is the sucker that you're going to tune this carb with. You're going to put it all back together. You're going to get it all cleaned up. Clean all these passages with carb cleaner. Get it all ready to go. All new seals. Put it back together. When you get it on the bike, the order is: there's a washer, a spring, there's a gasket in there already I haven't gotten out, which I will. So there's a rubber O-ring in there, a washer, a spring, and this pilot jet goes in last. That's the order it goes in, into that hole on top. So once that's in there, you're gonna get this thing on the bike, and you're gonna set your idle speed to 1100 RPM. That way you can hear fluctuations in the idle as you go up and down with the screw. What you want to do, you should be set about a turn out, maybe a turn and a quarter is where you're gonna be. The more you turn this thing out, the richer you're gonna be. And obviously all the way in is gonna be lean. So what you do is you get that thing in there, and the first thing you do when you install it is you gently seat it. Gently seat means you're just gonna put it in there until it stops. You're not gonna put any torque on it. You're gonna back it out at probably a turn and a quarter is where you should be. So the process is, get it to about a turn and a quarter, have the sucker idle in 1100 RPM, and you turn that out, and you count your turns until that thing starts to die and not want to idle. Then you count your turns back, and you go all the way back down until it don't want to idle on the bottom side. So it's kind of in between those two is where you're gonna find your best tuning spot. Again, you might put it at 1.25 turns and bam, she's running perfect, but you might have to mess with it a little bit. I recommend going a quarter past where you like it, going a quarter turn out, so she's running a little richer. Again, we're trying to solve a dry condition anyway, and it'll give you a little protection on your motor too. Once you get it done like that, you're gonna put new plugs in the bike, new spark plugs, and you take it on a ride. I like to see about 30-40 miles. You're gonna get that sucker nice and hot, get back to the shop, idle it, tune it a little more while it's warm, see how our performance is. Shut her down, pull the plugs, see how they look, make sure we're not lean or flooding it. And if we need to, we'll come back in here and do some more tuning with that a little bit. So when I get it all back together, I'll make another video of what the results were. But it's pretty simple. Again, your kit will come with new gaskets for the mount part of the carb and the spacer. I highly recommend getting the intake manifold gasket kit. Like I said, it's like 16 bucks. I think I'm in it for both kits like 45 bucks with shipping. Just take that manifold off there, redo them all while you can. You're in there anyway. And typically on these old bikes, you're gonna see the leaks there, and you're gonna see the carb needing work. So yeah, man. Well, I wish you guys luck. Like I said, not a lot of stuff on these Canyon carbs. And hope it helps. Thanks a lot. Later.